Good morning. Day 3 of pre-algebra from home. As I said yesterday, this was supposed to be done in just one class yesterday, but because the sections are a little bit longer, I decided to do these two today. So you can work on a section, you can work on these tomorrow if you want to. Whatever you decide is at your leisure. So anyway, I'm in a tennis outfit. I got to play tennis this morning, so I'm excited. It's beautiful today. I wouldn't blame you if you're outside enjoying the sunshine. It's gorgeous. It actually feels like spring. So anyway, do this when you get ready or when your mom and dad tell you need to do it. Here's your verse for today. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in tribulation and be constant in prayer. Romans 12:12. Great verse for today. I feel like things are starting to change for the good. Looks like this chaos might be coming to an end soon, as they think they may have found a cure for the coronavirus. But anyway, we're hoping for that, and or at least helping for something to take care of the symptoms, and hopefully this warm weather will take care of it. So anyway, with that being said, let's get on moving into these next two sections. I'm going to go ahead and put the homework up. It's on your timeline, so no big deal. But I'll write it. It is section 9-3, 1 through 6 all, and section 9-4, practice problems. These are both practice problems, sorry. 1 through 10 all. And that is the homework, and it is on the timeline. So if you haven't mailed the test, I need you to get that test from Monday mailed on out. I know some of y'all said y'all didn't have stamps, but you need to get it out, so I can go ahead and get that one graded and in the books. So 9-3 is where we are going, and it is, like I said, the beginning. This is a little more trigonometry. I'm not going to go over all that again because it's in your book. Trigonometry meaning the study of triangles. And it says trigonometry literally means triangle measurement. So we went over that last class. And today we're going to be finding the sine. So what happens here, and I'm going to erase this homework since I've said it. 9-3, finding the sine. What happens is, in any language, you need to learn the vocabulary. So sine is a special vocabulary term. It has to do with angle measurement of a triangle. So in the days to come, we're going to be doing sine, cosine, and tangent. And these are words that you probably don't know, nor should you know them yet. But we're going to break into it easy. I'm going to show you all three today because I think it's easier to learn the formulas doing them all three at one time, and then we'll break it down and just work on the sine today and then the cosine and tangent. But what happens is the sine of some angle cosine of some angle and the tangent of some angle is over A. Okay, so the sine is, this is the way you read it, so you'll know. This is so, ka, toa. So, ka, toa. That's the language for it to help you remember. So, S-O-H, ka, C-A-H, toa, T-O-A. Sokotoa sounds like maybe some kind of Indian language. But what this means is the sine of some angle is the opposite over the hypotenuse. Remember, the hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. So it's the opposite leg, the length of the opposite leg, length of opposite leg over the hypotenuse. So I abbreviate it as so opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Tangent is opposite over the adjacent. The reason I do that is just to help you remember it, and it makes it really, really easy. So basically you have some kind of triangle. It has to be a right triangle in this case. And we're trying to get angle measurement. So this is the one they gave you in the book, and I'll just go over it really quick. A, B, C. Remember, opposite of the right angle is the hypotenuse. So that's the H in these. Hypotenuse. It's also the C, but that's the hypotenuse. And then, depending on the angle you're looking at, that decides what opposite is and adjacent is. So it's very, very important you get this. So if I'm looking at the sine of angle A, so sine of angle A, it means my eyes are literally on angle A. That will help me label what legs, what the opposite is and what the adjacent is. So depending on the angle you're looking at, opposite is always opposite the angle you're measuring. So guess what? We would label this leg the opposite. Hypotenuse is always opposite the right angle. You'll never miss this. Adjacent is the leftover leg. So that can change depending on the angle you're looking at. So you're going to have to pay attention. So what happens is opposite is always opposite the angle you're looking at. If I was looking at C, it would be over here. But this one, they're saying the sine of angle A is of the opposite over the hypotenuse. So that's the formula. We're going to get into play with these on the measurement. But anyway, we're going to get into this. When you are doing triangle measurement, there's going to be, you're going to get a fraction, and you're going to have to divide it out to get the decimal. They want both of them. But today, we're focusing just on the sine. The sine of an angle is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So hypotenuse. And I have to think about it. So the length of the opposite leg over the length of the hypotenuse. So number one, they're looking at this triangle. We'll just do number one together. And they're looking at this angle A. And they've even got an angle sign here. They've got 4 feet, it's this length. Hypotenuse is 5 feet. And 3 feet. So this is the angle you've got. This is triangle ABC. They are saying find the sine of angle A. So the sine of angle A. So the first thing you're going to do is write down your formula. I allow you to abbreviate it. O over H. Next thing you want to do is you want to label your legs and you want to label your hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is the first one you're going to label. You can put an H for it. It is opposite the right triangle. It's the long one. That is H. So, hypotenuse, opposite the right angle, put an H. Now, when you're labeling opposite leg and adjacent leg, you always go draw an arrow opposite of the angle you're looking at. So look, here's the angle we're looking at. Draw an arrow and put O. This is just to label your triangle. And adjacent is the one that's always left over. That is the easiest one to remember. Now you got the value, so you literally just plug it in and solve. So, the sine of angle A is equal to the opposite is 3. That's your number. Hypotenuse is 5. So, they want you to write down the fraction, and then in that second blank, they want you to divide the fraction out. So, how do we get it? Divide the top by the bottom. And in that second blank, it is 0.600 because the top divided by the bottom, numerator divided by the bottom, numerator divided by the denominator, 0.600. They want those zeros because they tell you to round it to the nearest thousandths. Remember, thousandths place, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 3 decimals. So, that's all there is to it. I think the hardest thing to do with these is maybe labeling the opposite and adjacent. But if you pay attention to what angle you're looking at, it's really a piece of cake. We're going to try one more. I'm going to do number 5 with you. And I'm going to erase this because I want to make sure y'all are able to see. And then you can try the rest at home. So, there's your right angle. You've got 24 meters, 26 meters, O, M, N, and they've got this angle marked, and they've got 24, 26, and 10 meters. Again, let's write down the formula. They're asking you to find the sine of angle N. Sine of angle N is equal to, so, opposite over hypotenuse. So, we're looking at this angle. I always mark the hypotenuse first because it's the easiest one. Hypotenuse is opposite the right angle. And I put in my H here. Opposite the angle you're looking at, that is O. That is the opposite leg. So you put an O here. And adjacent is the leftover. So, sine of angle N is the opposite over the hypotenuse. So plug in the values. The opposite is 24. Once you label it, it's easy. Over 26. You can literally reduce this down to, if it makes you happy to do the math, it looks like 12/13. But then you got to do the division. You got to divide the numerator by the denominator. And when you do it, it is 0.923. I want to make sure, okay, because I kind of did that quick. So divide the top by the bottom, and the sine of the angle N is 0.923. That's your second blank. Take your time on the math. I did it quick. I almost made an arrow, but that was a little bit harder one. Because, again, you have to divide the top by the bottom. And 12/13. Well, I knew it was 12 out of 13 is really not. I knew it was 9 something. But, again, it takes a little bit of time. So, you try those in that section. 9/4 is still finding the sine. And this is probably going to be the easiest for y'all. But we're going to find the sine using the table. Okay, y'all are going to love this because literally you just have to go read the table. The table that you're going to use is in the back of the book on 420. And they will give you, okay, page 420. They will give it to you on the test. So you're going to use the table. And if you can read a table, these are going to be really, really, really easy. So what happens is, number 1, they've got 67 degrees. And they say, write the sine of the following angles to the nearest thousandth using the table. So you go flip back to the back of the page. On 420, I got a 67 degrees. And the sine to the nearest thousand is 0.921. That's it. On number 7, you're going to have to break. I'm going to do number 7 with you. So the first ones are literally just reading the table. Just pay attention because they've got sine, cosine, and tangent in there. So you got to pay attention on that. But, that's all you got to do is read it. On number 7, you're going to have to bust out your protractor. And you're going to have to measure what they're looking at and then go read the table. So they've got some triangle ABC. And they're wanting wanting to know what angle B is, but here's the thing. You don't have any leg lengths. So you've got to measure that angle. And then after you measure the angle, you got to go find what the sine is using the chart. So literally you take your protractor and you're measuring from here to here. When you measure it, you should see that the angle is 20 degrees. And I don't have my protractor with me, but I know you can measure it. You see that it's less than 90, so you know it's going to be that smaller value on your protractor, so it's pretty easy. So it is 20 degrees. I've got to go find out what is the sine at 20 degrees. So again, I flip back to my chart, go to the column, 20 degrees, it's 0.342. I think you'll like this section because it's really, really easy. Make sure you can measure those angles. Y'all have done good in the past. And those are the sections for the week. And I hope you have a great weekend. I wish I was seeing y'all next week. I miss y'all. I miss the fun of talking to students and interacting because it's hard to interact with an iPad. But anyway, have a great weekend and God bless y'all.